What's going on, everybody? This is Snowman. Welcome to another episode of SnoStorm, the series where we look at topics that couldn't quite fit for a full video on my channel, but I still want to talk about them. And today is a very fun side project that we're going to discuss. I actually made a secret YouTube channel. I made something called Hidden Gaming Secrets, and we're going to dive in and talk about that. It was kind of made as an experiment just to see how something could do if it wasn't tied or attached to Snowman Gaming in any way. Just with like a fun idea, could it perform well? And we'll dive in and talk about how it did, what it was like making the channel, but all the while we're going to be playing Super Mario 64 while we talk about it. So let's go ahead and dive right in. This is the Mario 3D All-Stars version of this game. You can tell it looks a little crisper, a little bit different than the original, but let's dive in. Let's chat about it. So what was Hidden Gaming Secrets? What was the idea behind it? And the concept was I wanted to experiment with some short form content, so just make a bunch of shorts. But the idea was, what if I made things like Did You Know Gaming, but instead of like real legitimate secrets that people may not know, what if it was just the most obvious secrets that everyone on Earth already knows about gaming, but still present it super serious, like it's a true hidden thing that I found. And so it kind of turned into something like this video, this first one I'll show you to kick off the channel. If you're anything like me, you know that Super Mario Bros. Can be a very long and difficult game, but I bet you didn't know that there's actually a way to skip past some of the levels. Check this out. In level 1-2, you can ride this elevator near the end of the stage all the way up to the roof. Jump on top of it and go to the right past the exit pipe to find a secret warp zone that can take you to other worlds far ahead in the game. You can pick world 2, 3, or 4. Now you don't have to go through every stage anymore. Hope this helps. So just never break, like present it as something like really serious, like check out this awesome secret. But then it's also funny because it kind of sort of morphed over time. Instead of just being these really obvious secrets, it also kind of turned into like, what if I'm just really dumb and like a really bad gamer and I don't realize that it's actually just how the game is supposed to be played, but I think it's a hidden secret. And that was one like how this turned out. Portal is a mind-bending game about solving puzzles, but it always felt like a sad and abrupt ending when you find out GLaDOS lied about the cake and instead kills you in a pit of fire. But I just discovered something amazing. Don't blink or you might miss it. While you're slowly moving toward your doom, you can actually look up at the balcony above and shoot a portal up there. If you put another one on the wall next to you and jump through, you can actually glitch out of the bad ending and continue exploring the pipes and scaffolding behind all the puzzle rooms. So weird. Or another fun way I did videos was also to just be, what if I just got information totally wrong? What if I just spread something totally incorrect about games and it's just not true at all? And that was a fun one like this. Mario Kart 64 has lots of hidden shortcuts and Easter eggs, but I bet you missed the coolest one. Right after this large jump in Royal Raceway, instead of continuing on the normal path, if you take this hidden entrance to the right, you encounter a castle with a big courtyard to explore. It took me a minute to realize what this was in reference to, but amazingly, this is actually an homage to the bonus level in Mario Odyssey of Peach's Castle, which means they were thinking so far ahead that they foreshadowed this game over 20 years before it came out. Now that is crazy. So this was really fun to make these videos. I just had a blast coming up with ideas of like, how can I present something in kind of the craziest way possible, or really, you know, it could be seen as like maybe rage bait or something. Like I'm just trying to get people to get these comments, but the idea was just really funny to me, and so I really had a blast making them. I wanted to just make them myself, and I did sort of experiment. It's kind of funny because another reason I kind of wanted to dive into this is I had seen a lot of like AI slop short stuff where people are just the most low effort content possible. And I thought kind of the idea is like, what if I actually put a ton of effort into making them, but to make them look like they're low effort? And so like, for example, the subtitles, I hand did that all by myself because I actually did experiment trying to use AI to put in the subtitles, but it kind of just sucks. Like they make it really poorly and wrong. They misspell things, or they'll highlight the wrong things, or they'll throw in like dumb emojis. And so I did it myself to handcraft it to look a certain way, but kind of to have this feel of like, you know, a lot of videos that you would see across the internet, and so just presenting it in kind of a comical way. So I had a blast doing it. It was really fun. I only made 22. I didn't want the channel to kind of overstay its welcome. Again, it was also sort of just an experiment. I posted it across 6 different platforms to see how it performed across all the different things. So I made a YouTube channel for it. Again, this was not tied in any way to Snowman Gaming, but it was my voice, so people could maybe connect the dots. I made a Twitter and a Blue Sky account to post it on social medias. I made a Facebook page, and then I did it on TikTok and Instagram as well. So there were sort of 6 different platforms. I wanted to see the variations, how it performed, how it would do. I kind of like had a prediction of how I thought, because for some reason I thought like Facebook would perform the best, just because it felt like maybe this is the platform where people could get tricked the most and just kind of like fall into the, you know, sort of bait of it, I guess. But I wasn't really sure how the other ones would do. I had made a TikTok for Snowman Gaming before. I hadn't really done Instagram or anything. So I kind of wanted to just experiment and again, just see maybe it would take off, maybe it wouldn't. And so, yeah, I posted a bunch of different ones. It was funny to see people's reactions. There were a lot of comments that were like, this guy's out of his mind. What is going on? What is this channel? But again, seeing it like evolve over time and how it changed to sort of just be like even more satire than just the base concept satire of doing the hidden gaming secrets. But anyway, I wanted to kind of dive in and show you the metrics of like how it went. So let's do that. Let's talk about the metrics. Okay, so this was on the YouTube channel. This is how the 22 shorts performed. You know, some of them did take off. Like this one got 113,000 views. Some of them a little bit less, but some did pretty good. Some very minimal, but again, it was kind of across the board. I did this over a few months, maybe like 5 months, posting like one a week or something like that, which I guess makes sense if it was about 22 weeks. And this channel got 328 subscribers. Not a lot, not bad. Again, you can kind of see just the comments are just like, you're insane. So it did kind of like middle of the road. I wouldn't say it did great or terrible. Twitter was interesting because Twitter maybe was the second least performing platform, and that's because essentially right when I made it is kind of when Twitter basically died. If people were like avid Twitter users like me before, you know this, that it essentially just fell off the face of the earth because of ownership issues. But you know, some of them did okay, but for the most part, these are getting like almost no engagement at all. Just like very, very minimal engagement. It only had how many followers? Like 74 followers, very low. Blue Sky did better, quote unquote, but you know, also not incredibly better. 1.8k followers, so actually that is more than I thought it was. But yeah, some of these did a few numbers, which is good. Like that one, this Portal one performed well kind of across all platforms. Generally, if like the video was kind of a especially funny one, it definitely got more engagement. But again, this definitely performed tremendously better than Twitter for sure. Facebook, which is funny because again, like I said, I thought it would perform the best. It ended up being by far the worst, just the absolute worst performing one by far. And I have a theory, and my theory is that Facebook will not share anything to anybody unless you promote it. I think you have to actually like boost it to get engagement, which again is kind of weird. I thought this would be like ripe audience to kind of take off, but it did not in any way, shape, or form. I guess this is the only one. Okay, seeing this one, the Mario 64 one that I showed earlier, this one actually is the only one that took off, and I didn't notice this. This happened after I stopped posting that it took off like this. So it feels kind of random, but again, for the most part, okay, maybe, you know, random ones, a couple ones here took off, but for the most part, it's things like this with like 2 likes, almost no engagement. TikTok and Instagram did okay. They actually did not too bad. TikTok less than Instagram. I only had, 150 followers, but look at the, you know, some of these numbers are pretty decent. 212,000 views. I'll show you this one too, because this was also a funny video. This was the last one I made that was almost like too far of a stretch, but but I want to show you it. Did you know the endless staircase in Mario 64 is not actually endless? Yes, once you get 70 stars, it turns into a normal set of stairs that leads to the final Bowser stage. But there's actually a technique you can use called the backward long jump to make this even easier. While there's no way to make it up the stairs without the 70 stars, I found it very helpful to use a backward long jump when I tried to reach a faraway star, but wasn't sure if I was going to make it, so I'd hold back as I'm jumping to not fall down a pit and be able to try again. This really comes in handy when getting those extra hard to reach stars. It's like such a ridiculous joke that you almost don't get the joke at first, and then you're just like, wait, what is he talking? I thought he was talking about BLJs, but then it's like, what? So anyway, that one did pretty good, 200,000 views. The Mario 64 one, Mario Kart 64 one did 100,000, but again, for the most part, kind of like somewhat engagement. My actual best performing platform by far was Instagram, which really surprised me. It only has 2,000 followers, but again, like some of these numbers did very well. The Portal video on Instagram got a couple million views. So we actually did have a few like viral ones here. For the most part, like things were, I guess, kind of how I expected, but I was surprised how bad some of the platforms performed. I thought like Twitter and Facebook would just be ample ground for stuff like this, and it did not at all. Instagram and TikTok especially, I was like, these kids are going to be too young. They're not going to even know the things I'm referencing, but they actually did pretty good on both of those platforms. I kind of hoped that YouTube would take off a little more, but it did not. So anyway, it was just kind of interesting to see how it performed overall. So again, it was just kind of a fun little side experiment project. Nothing super huge came of it. I had other ideas of other videos I could do, but again, I didn't want to overstay its welcome, and I didn't want the quality to sort of degrade, so I really especially focused on the ones that I felt were the highest, tier ideas of ones to do. And so it was kind of just a fun little side project. Maybe I'll have other ideas like that in the future, but if you haven't checked out the Hidden Gaming Secrets channel, you can check them out here and follow them on those platforms if you want. Who knows, maybe more will come in the future, but at least for now, it was kind of just like a fun little thing to try out. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for seeing another episode of SnoStorm. I'll see you on the next one, and stay frosty, my friends.
Hegel. Yeah, woohoo, yeah, woohoo, yeah, yeah, woohoo, yeah, woohoo.